It's been a while since I made a video. The only time really I have time to make videos lately is when I'm driving. And I promise I'm being careful. I promise I won't wreck. I'm trying to be good. Don't fuss at me, please. But if I don't record this, I'm going to forget what I'm thinking. Yeah, so a lot has happened since the Genesis 22 video I made. My dad passed away. My mom's living with us. I have a son in the Marines, one in college, one out in the workforce, 2 high schoolers, and a family business. And I'm trying to release a lot of things happening with the book that I wrote. Publisher went. So many things have happened. It's been wild and crazy. And I wish, like anything, I could just get into the work. But anyway, something's happening that I need that I really feel like I need to point out. There's a buzz going on about the Revelation 12 sign. If you don't know what the Revelation 12 sign is, you can look. Just put it in the search bar. It'll come up. And I think I started hearing about this Revelation 12 sign like 4 or 5 years ago from this guy named Clarke, eternalrythmflow. That's where I first started seeing it. And I have to say I agree with it. But what the Revelation 12 sign is, that's the sign. There's a sign in heaven, and there's a woman travailing in birth, and she has 12 stars over her head, and the sun at her head, and the moon at her feet, and all this kind of stuff. She gives birth, and then that's, that child rules with the rod of iron and then goes to heaven, and the woman is chased into the desert. Anyway, that's Revelation 12. Okay, so the sign in the heaven, exactly like that. There's a sign that happens just like that, and well, I'll tell you. Okay, let me explain what it is. The constellation Virgo is in the sky right above where we can see it. Leo's there, the Big Dipper. It's somewhere around the Big Dipper where this is happening. The Virgo is in the sky. The planet Jupiter, which is called the King Planet, goes into Virgo, into the womb area, and just goes round and round. The way I'm understanding it, it goes forward, and then it retrogrades, and it just kind of stays there. And I think that Jupiter went into the womb of Virgo, and I'm going to look for it tonight if it's not too cloudy. Jupiter goes into the womb of Virgo, and it will stay there. And if I'm understanding correctly, it went into her womb last night, which is March the 24th, which is kind of weird because it's real close to 322. But anyway, Virgo will hold Jupiter until September 23rd, where the Jupiter is going to exit Virgo's womb, the womb area between her legs. That happens on September the 23rd, which also happens to be the Feast of Trumpets. I don't think that's a mistake. I don't think that's a coincidence. No way. So, here's what I'm thinking. If there are a lot of theologians, many theologians that say that Revelation is in chronological order. Okay. If Revelation is in chronological order, then that means all of the things that happened before Revelation 12 have to happen, or have to have happened already, or are going to happen between now and September the 23rd. Okay. What has happened? Well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to start at Revelation 6. I'll start at Revelation 6. That is where the horsemen come. And if you think about it, the horsemen, I'm just going to tell you what I believe. I believe the first horseman was Constantine. The second one, it was Muhammad. And And the third one obviously has come about because of those who. All right, if you think about it, Constantine represents Christianity and Muhammad represents Islam, obviously, which seems to be the biggest two players at this point in time, definitely. Okay. All right, so could the black horse have come? The black horse is the scales, and the rider says, or someone in the throne says, something about, a loaf of bread for a day's wage, but don't harm the oil and the wine. Okay. Well, food definitely is scary. That a loaf of bread for a day's wage, don't harm the oil and wine. Okay. Have you heard about Venezuela and other socialist countries? Venezuela, check it out, please. They're starving. I saw a documentary where a lady who seemed to have been well-to-do at one point, her house was really nice. She was only able to afford a dozen eggs. She got one egg a day and had to split it with her dog. They're eating their zoo animals, for God's sake. They're eating their zoo animals. I would say that's definitely happening. I saw a newspaper clipping where a dozen eggs was $150. I think Revelation 12 is here. I think Americans are so biased. They think that everything in the Bible has to happen here. They're not looking out into the rest of the world. They're selfish. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Not. Anyway, so that's Revelation 6. And the pale horse or the green horse, definitely it says that a quarter of the earth, the green horse, his rider's death, and hell follows. They're given, they can kill with the sword over a quarter of the earth. I think that's happening. We're not hearing it in American media, but you can go to other sources and you can find out what's really happening. And what's happening there, Christians are dying by the thousands every day, and babies, and how they're dying is terrible. Oh, what they're doing. I might do a video one day to tell you the truth about that, but I would say green horse is here. And then the next thing that happens, the souls, there are souls under the altar. They're crying out, how long, O Lord, holy and true will it be till you will avenge our blood from those that dwell on the earth. And he says, just here are some white robes, you go hang out and just wait until the number's fulfilled that will die as you have. That number is getting fulfilled in a hurry. I believe it. Thousands every day. But of course we don't hear about it. Alright, so that's Revelation 6. Revelation 7. Revelation 7 is where the 144,000 are sealed. Now remember, all of this has to happen between September 23rd, which is about 6 months. 6 months away, September 23rd, 2017. Okay. Oh, and also in Revelation 6, that's where the elite are going into the ground, into the rocks, into the mountains, into their holes, into their dumb bases, into their special little palaces underground, and they're telling the mountains, fall on us, hide us from the one who's going to judge them. I've heard that's happening. I've heard that's happening. There are people that have property down in New Zealand and in Argentina. Which, by the way, Chuck Misler lives in New Zealand. What does he know? So they have to go down into their dumb bases, deep underground bases, and then that is when the sky is rolled back like a scroll. My sister's calling me. That's when the sky is rolled back like a scroll. And okay, to apply that to something that we can apply to, let's say a conspiracy theory from today. Is there something that could accomplish that? Okay, well, I saw a video that's supposed to be from an insider, where the guy was talking about that, you know, this planet system Nibiru is a iron planet, and it has wings and it glows orange. You know, the wings, like the iron swinging off from the side creates wings, which looks a whole lot like the Nibiru from the Sumerian prophecies, Sumerian cuneiform documents, whatever those things are. So let's say hypothetically, if, you know, this is planet X, planet 7X, planet 9, planet whatever it is, if this is true, then, and it's a metal planet, it's an iron core planet, and its orbit is different than our orbit. Our orbit is kind of horizontal. That planet's orbit is like south to north, like this. So as it comes around and goes to perihelion, if it comes from the south, it could hypothetically, theoretically, grab a hold of our magnetic south pole and flip us. That would satisfy the requirements of something, of the Earth being rolled back like a scroll, don't you think? I mean, if you were sitting on Earth and you were looking up at the stars and all of a sudden they went zoop, I think that would look a lot like it was rolled back like a scroll. Okay. Now remember, all this has to happen between now and September 23rd if Revelation is in chronological order. All right, the next thing that happens, Revelation 7, the 144,000 have to be sealed. Revelation 8, the wormwood. Revelation 8, Revelation 9. Oopsie, sorry. Revelation 9, the scorpions. Revelation 10. Can't remember. Revelation 10. Revelation 11, the prophets, the two witnesses have to show themselves, and they have to you know, fire has to come from their mouths, and you know, they can withhold rain, and they can call plagues down on people. That all has to happen between now and September the 23rd if Revelation is in chronological order. So I can definitely hope that it is not in chronological order. I don't want to go through all that. And that's where we get into the subject of when is the rapture, when are the Christians going to leave. I kind of have a completely different, I would think, a different take on that I might talk about later. But my point for this video is, if we'll be able to scientifically cross off the list one of the theories, one of the theological debates, and it'll be a definite scientific whether or not it is in chronological order. If none of these things have happened between now and September 23rd, Revelation is not in chronological order, and that would be a good thing to know, so we can stop trying to guess. However, if it is in chronological order, we're in trouble. Know the Lord. Get to know Him. Yeah, we are not, there's that old argument, we are not appointed to the wrath of God. I know that. But if you look at Exodus, the Israelites during the plagues completely protected from the wrath of God. I would say all of those plagues and then the death of the firstborn didn't touch Israel. I would say that they were protected from the wrath of God, but they were right in the middle of it. Right smack in the middle of it. But it says in Exodus that not one of their cattle, not any of them were harmed. So I think everything's going to be okay if Revelation is in chronological order. No, we're not pointed to the wrath of God. But a natural disaster like that, like the earth flipping or the pole flip, or the skies roll back like a scroll, that's a natural disaster. Is that the wrath of God? I don't know. But But no, he can protect us, and he would protect us, because the world, God's people have to manifest in the power and glory of Christ. We have to. We can't just leave this earth in the sorry, pitiful shape that the church is in today. He's not going to let that happen. So, what is it? John 14:12, I think, or John 12:14? John 12:14. John 14:12. Jesus asked his disciples. I think this is after it's when he was healing people. His disciples asked him, oh, that's like, wow, cool, man. Jesus said, why do you marvel? Because, those in the future, those who believe in me are going to be able to do just like me, except more, because I'm going on to the Father. So that means that at some point, we'll be healing people, we'll be raising the dead, we'll be walking through walls, because he walked through walls. And if you read the Bible, at one point they were on a ship at one point of the Dead Sea, and then all of a sudden they were on the other end. So he can manipulate time. Would we be able to do that? Maybe, because it says that we will walk in his power and we'll do even more than him. Jesus said it out of his own mouth. So if Revelation is in chronological order, and I hope it's not, please don't let it be in chronological order. We're going to see a whole bunch of stuff happen between now and September 23rd. And even if it's not in chronological order, this period of time, because Jupiter already entered into the womb, we need to watch what's going on, because something funky might be happening. Otherwise, he would not have put that in the Bible. That's something to watch for, a sign in the heaven. And the sign in the heavens goes, those stars and the moon and all the stuff hanging in the sky, God ordained those for signs and seasons. The word sign means signal or appointment. So, there's that. Appreciate you listening. Thank you. I'll talk to you later. Maybe I get to see you again soon. Talk to you later. Bye.